When you see a billion-dollar jackpot flashing on a highway billboard, it's easy to get lost in the cultural fantasy of endless wealth. But the moment you hold that oversized check in front of the cameras, the fantasy ends. The headline number is an illusion, and you are now an incredibly visible target. Winning triggers the most complex tax and liability crisis you will ever experience. Treating this sudden wealth as blind luck leaves you entirely unprepared to protect it. You have to shed the mindset of a lucky dreamer and immediately become a strategic planner. And you can start practicing that exact analytical approach right now using Lotto Jump. This frequency grid shows the exact distribution of drawn numbers over the last 24 months. By mapping historical data, Lotto Jump replaces blind guessing with data-driven probability management, isolating the heavy concentrations at the top from the lowest performers at the bottom. Calculating z-score deviations reveals exactly how far a number strays from its statistical expected frequency. This shift to measuring deviation over raw totals forces you into a mindset of long-term variance and strategic discipline. This Match Explorer table tracks your specific number sets directly against past drawing dates. You can validate exactly how many times your strategy would have crossed specific winning thresholds in the real world. Using an analytical framework to evaluate a lottery entry builds the exact same mental muscle you need to manage and protect a 9-figure payout. The first reality check hits before you even claim the prize. The advertised billion-dollar jackpot is mathematically misleading because the actual cash pool backing it is vastly smaller. This diagram shows the brutal math of the immediate payout. A billion-dollar win shrinks through a bottleneck to a roughly $422 million actual cash pool, and that happens before federal taxes even begin. That massive reduction forces your first major corporate hurdle, choosing how you receive the money, by deciding between the annuity and the lump sum. This chart tracks the two payout trajectories over 30 years. The annuity maximizes gross payout, generating $165 million more than the cash option. But the trade-off is severe. The 30-year contract leaves future payments entirely exposed to unknown, potentially much higher federal tax brackets. Choosing the lump sum means taking a massive immediate haircut. The 37% federal tax rate instantly drops your $422 million cash pool down to roughly $265 million. And depending on the specific state jurisdiction where you bought the ticket, local taxes will drain that figure even further. You lose that $165 million premium, but you gain 100% control of the remaining capital to invest immediately under current known tax laws. The fundamental showdown of a lottery win is a choice between maximizing your guaranteed yield over 3 decades or taking a heavy discount to secure absolute immediate asset control. The 30-year annuity also carries a hidden death penalty, the federal estate tax trap. Looking at this timeline, if you die early, say year 5, the IRS taxes your estate based on the remaining 25 years. Your family will owe taxes on hundreds of millions they haven't received yet. Lacking liquid cash for that bill forces a financial crisis. Mitigating this specific risk requires you to spend millions out of pocket upfront on massive life insurance policies, purely to cover that potential estate tax. To truly protect your assets, you have to shift your focus to establishing legal trusts long before you step forward to claim the ticket. Establishing a blind trust shields your identity from the public in those states, while heavily protecting the underlying assets from frivolous lawsuits. If you skip the trust and try direct out-of-pocket gifting to your family, you trigger the federal gift tax. You will be forced to pay up to 40% on the very money you just gave away. Selecting the perfect payout structure is irrelevant if you fail to wrap those assets in a protective legal and tax shielding structure first. The definitive truth of sudden wealth is that the most brutal financial hits happen after you receive the money, silently drained through income, estate, and gift taxation. This matrix plots asset control against gross yield. For the legacy builder, a lump sum in an irrevocable trust provides tax certainty and efficient generational gifting. For the protected dreamer, an annuity with life insurance forces spending discipline while maximizing lifetime yield. Winning $1 billion is a corporate acquisition. It requires absolute analytical rigor and strategic defense from day zero. You can start building that exact mindset right now. Claiming a multi-hundred-million-dollar prize under your personal public name introduces immediate, severe physical dangers to you and your family. The absolute prerequisite is hiring a specialized legal team before you ever contact the Lottery Commission or sign the back of the ticket. That legal team will establish a blind trust or a limited liability company to act as the official receiving entity for the funds. Utilizing a trust exploits state loophole laws, allowing you to legally shield your individual identity from public lottery records in most jurisdictions. There are trade-offs to this approach. You will face massive upfront legal retainers and have to navigate highly restrictive asset management rules moving forward. However, those upfront costs buy the only thing that actually matters post-win: absolute invisibility from scammers, greedy distant relatives, and the relentless media. Anonymity is not a luxury for lottery winners. It is a mandatory, high-cost defensive perimeter.